Please don't fall. Please don't fall, yo. Do this. Come on, come on. Yeah. Let's go have to do it, yo. 1 second, guys. All right. 1 second, yo. 1 second. All right, guys. I hope everyone can hear me. I don't have the best setup in the world, but I got better than nothing. Okay. Alrighty. Do we have anyone here? I'm actually a little bit prepared today, so this is kind of funny though. Look at this. Whoever's in here. I tried to write what the theme of this little live was going to be about, and then I had to write it backwards because I realized there's going to be a mirroring effect. I'm going to give it a minute or two. I'm going to give it 40 seconds for people to get here. Just know, guys, that I do respect your time, and I'm sorry I'm always fucking late for all 2.5 of you that care. But what's up, Jack? What's up, my moderator? So if anyone's been following my channel, man, I think tonight or like the next, I don't know, hopefully 15-20 minutes, however long it takes, you'll get a pretty good understanding of where I stand with this portable rock art, and it might be pretty revealing, and I might muddy the waters. I might bloody the waters, to be honest with you, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's look at some of these badass biddies I yoked out of this new spot today. No receipts needed. No receipts? Always need receipts, bro. Check this joint out. Hey Jack, when you get a second, tell me how the picture looks. I don't know how clear it is. Look at that thing. That's cool. Carnelian looking bastard. What are you? I'm only showing you rocks that illuminate. Jack, I think you're the only one here, dude. Good enough for me. Oh, look at that green bastard. You know what? Here. Just stained piece of paper to like. That's the shape of it. Look at that. Look at the color coming out of that thing, man. Isn't that dope? It looks good? Okay, thanks, buddy. I fucked everyone over earlier. I swear. Okay, so I found this little pebble, right? This joint. It looks pretty round, right? But I swear I see like little, yeah, did it focus? Like little tiny, old, blemished, barely there carvings in there. I'm probably wrong. Look at that. Look how bright that bitch is, dude. Dude, these are some of the clearest agates and clearest quartz crystals and shit I found. Show you a couple more, and then I'm just going to get into it. I don't care if people see this live or not. Are they pulsating? Because this light is not pulsating. So if it's pulsating, that just means the wavelength is syncing up with the frame rate, which is crazy. They were doing it earlier. Here, I got like 2 or 3 more I want to show you, and then I'm gonna get into it. You know, it might actually be better that there's not a lot of people around for what I'm about to do, what I'm about to say. All right, check these last few out. Look at this bad boy. I found this one today too. Is the light still going? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's pretty wild, isn't it? The only thing I can think of is the wavelength of light coming out of this LED flashlight has to sync up with the frame rate or something like that. Look at this bad boy. This one was my favorite one today. I don't even need to hit it with direct light because you can't hardly see it like that. But look at that thing, man. Oh, you can see it pretty good like that. Look at that, dude. Look at that thing. Now I think it's just serpentine, but damn, is it in pure crystalline form. And then I love this one. This big guy here. Check him out. Look at this. Look how awesome this is. Big chunky bastard. All right, I'm kind of stalling, but all right, we're gonna get into it. Okay. So the topic that I'm gonna cover right now, that I'm gonna get into in my rockumentary, is bitches sneaking up on me. Is portable rock art rejected by mainstream archaeology and academia? Is it really though? Is it really? What does that mean? Well, I have quite the perspective on this that I don't think is too radical, but I don't know. I might get fucking executed for this. We'll see. Jesus, Isaac, get it together. Okay, so so we all have a ton of different opinions on what portable rock art is. There's a million characters in the niche, in the subject, whatever you want to call it. There's a ton of us out there. You know, some people think, they're from ancient people. Some people think they're from not so distant people. People think it's bullshit, and by that I just mean they think it's all pareidolia, which we'll get into in a minute. Some people think that they're totems. That's what Country Boy thinks. People like Ray, who, by the way, real quick, Ray, I was watching your video earlier. I had no idea you were a Vietnam vet, so welcome home. That's what you should have been fucking told years ago. And thank you so much, man. I had no idea you were a vet, so hats off to Ray. And if you don't know RLJ Frog Pond School, go check him out. Fucking awesome dude. He's kind of been a ballast a bit in this subject for me. So all right, back to it. So like this dude in the subject, Chris Penny, right? You guys have heard of him. I don't know Chris, don't know anything about him. I've watched a lot of his content, and I was watching it again today, and I realized something pretty important, pretty important, pretty suggestive. So we're gonna get into that now. I'm gonna say this first and foremost. I think it's very dangerous to dismiss conventional or the mainstream framework in many instances. Like as far as science goes, it's very dangerous to start saying fuck the system, fuck the institutions, I don't believe in X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's a pretty good foolproof system. Mainstream conventional science, for the most part, is a very good fucking thing. Like, you like this shit you're looking through, like, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for it. You like your monitor, your device, whatever. Like, you wouldn't have that shit if it wasn't for mainstream science. I mean, institutionalized, aggregated thought, parsed through a process, forced to go through this very specific process. And it is an important thing. And I think when we go throwing that shit out, the baby goes with the bathwater, and we lose a lot. And people end up like insane people, like thinking the government's trying to break into their house to steal their fucking cupcakes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to stay grounded, and you have to stay logical and rational. And if you don't, okay, but no one's going to take you seriously. What I'm saying is there's a fine line. So anyway, this guy, Chris Penny, I don't know him. Seems like a super nice dude. I'm going to give you some quotes I noticed in some of his docu stuff. So, archaeology surprisingly has no interest in portable rock art. That's one, right? Here's another one. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place, guys. I actually tried to realize how awful I am about abusing people's time who actually come to watch this. So, okay, here we go. So, then he said, there's no one in archaeology or academia that will accept these types of artifacts. These are direct quotes. This is directly from his content on YouTube. Go check him out. Chris Penny, just like it sounds. If you go in the search bar, type Chris Penny rock art, so you don't end up with the drummer from Dillinger Escape Plan, who is also really fucking cool. They do 4-way coordination. Really nice shit. Anyway, there's like a common sentiment amongst people like him, who he seems to be somewhat of a ringleader or somewhat of a, a forward-thinking, open, brave soul that's putting his fucking thoughts out there. Yeah, Jack, you're subscribed to Chris. A lot of people are, right? This is not a bash on him. I doubt he'll ever see this, but if he does, I'm not talking shit about you, and you've given way more to this shit than I have. I'm just doing some critical thinking, all right? So look, so with all that said, I think from those two quotes, people don't want to accept portable rock art, mainstream academia, mainstream science, conventional science, the institutions, whatever you want to call it, right? There's an unwillingness to accept these artifacts. That's what gets tossed around, the word artifacts. So it's important to go down a semantic analysis. And I hate to go into semantics, but if you want to actually get to the crux of the problem with this shit, you're going to have to start defining things. That's the big issue I take from Chris's stuff, is like, he boils it down real nice, and then we kind of get to this brick wall where I think most of us hit this brick wall where we go, oh, okay, like, yeah, it makes sense, except I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to talk about this. No, it just is. Like, we don't want to go the extra quarter mile to just figure out what the hell it is that we're trying to prove, right? So what I mean by that is, let's just define artifact. An object made by human beings, typically an item of interest or of cultural or historical interest. So the key takeaway, an item or an object rather made by human beings. Okay. So let's just say that an artifact is an object made by human beings, okay? Artifact, okay? For this argument, that's what artifact means. And technically, by the definition, for the first half anyway, it's not wrong. But that's not historical. Whatever, you guys get it. So, the common sentiment, right, is mainstream archaeology fucking won't accept this. Well, here's what I think. What did I write down next? See, I think that I have ADD, and if I don't write this shit down, I go all over the place. Okay. So, let's just talk about what acceptance by these institutions is. What is that? What does that mean? What does it mean to say every archaeologist says they won't accept these artifacts? Well, I think what it really means, and this is going to piss people off, but I don't care, dude. Like, you have to critically think. You have to be a fucking big boy sometimes, or a big girl, and like think about it. Now, I'm probably just as wrong as a bunch of other people, but I'm putting it out there. So where we end up at is the accepting of artifacts. It's not they won't accept artifacts, they won't accept your fucking artifacts. And here's why. Because, now this is really gonna piss people off. So look, I wish I could draw on the screen for you guys, but look, I hate to use arrowheads because I know everyone hates arrowheads in this PRA shit. Everyone fucking hates arrowheads. Like, give them to me. I love them, dude. Like, I'll take them off your hands. But I get where they're coming from. But anyway, if you give me an arrowhead, right, which I don't have, and then I'm gonna use a piece of my own self-conceived portable rock art. Portable rock art. All right. I think this kind of looks like a wolf, right? Two eyes. You can't see it too good, but you can kind of see it, right? Whatever. That's my perspective. This is my perspective, okay? Most people are hung up on their perspective, okay? So, I think the problem is that people, you have to prove that a human, right, artifact made by humans, you have to prove that a human did this. With an arrowhead, I can point and say, there's a very specific apex point that down both runs of the triangle has been manipulated by pressure flaking in a manner that is virtually impossible, statistically impossible to occur naturally in nature. It's 100% a human did it. This is how this rock flakes under pressure. It looks like this, by this much pressure exerted by the average human. Like, you can figure that out. You look at an arrowhead, you go, that's a fucking arrowhead. 100%. And we're not discussing whether it's real or not. We're just discussing simply whether a human made it, right? I can look at this, right? And I could sit here and go, humans made this 30,000 years ago. Or I can sit here and say, there's no way that some ancient people didn't make it. Look at it. Look at it. Look how fucking unbelievable this is. It is unbelievable. It's dear to my heart. I love this shit. But I cannot prove in any way that that was made by a person. I can't. And I don't have the tangible physical processes of proof. I can't prove that any rendering of that was done by a human. That's fact. Like there is no gray area here. Like, and I think we get hung up on that, and because we like to mix our spiritual essence and beliefs with what we the things that are hallowed and sacred to us, which for some people this is, and that's fine and that's awesome, but it has to have been modified or manipulated by a human. Now, here's my next thing. The word carve is a bad word. That's like on my no-no list. Like, I say more cuss words than anyone. No one says carve. No one says, or no one should say carve, okay? Because it's just completely objective, right? Do you know how hard it is to carve rock? It's very hard. Now, like, if you can prove to me that these rocks are carved, then go for it. I'm not going to tell you they're not in some instances. I'm just saying what the institutions and science and academia and all these people are looking for are a certain set of criteria that meet their definition of what an artifact is. It's not like a fuck your rock art, go to hell, it sucks. It's not an unwillingness to accept it. It's an unwillingness to accept your specific idea in that moment of what you are bringing to the table and you're calling an artifact. It's not a slight on the entire on the entire subject or the entire topic. It's not. And so it's like I can point to distinct features on an arrowhead, marks, pressure, flakes, whatever, in a statistically probable manner, and that shows human interference. Portable rock art suffers from the gross blanket prognostication of pareidolia because we tend to lean on vague or speculative arguments like this was carved, this was made into. That's not specific enough. So the question isn't, or like the point isn't like that people are talking shit about what your portable rock art is. The point is that it doesn't necessarily mean it is an artifact based on the conventional definition of the word artifact. And that's basically all I'm saying. Like, but just because it's not that doesn't mean it's not something else. Now, you ask yourself this, like, give yourself a real, like humbled, honest, and objective answer to this question. Like, do you think that every piece of rock art you find, every piece, 100%, is made by people? If you do, good for you, then you have a hell of an eye. But I can almost guarantee you there's people that are like, kind of, you'll like let certain things kind of look a certain way to justify your desire in that moment. Now, and I'm not saying that's how everyone is or anything, but like, yeah, I have a bunch of them that I've been like iffy about. And, it is what it is, man. Like, obviously, I'm all over the place with my thought process here. But the biggest takeaway from all this is that dude Chris is probably the most he's like the most eloquent and the most established kind of dude I've seen leading the charge with this stuff. He seems to always arrive at this place where they won't accept it. They don't accept. Thanks for being honest, Jack. they don't accept my art. They don't accept these rocks as artifacts. Nobody does. None of the archaeologists tell me I suffer from pareidolia. Well, I don't think all of them are saying that. And even if they are, like, just the burden of proof is on you, man. Like, you can do it. Like, I see some of his stuff. I'm not saying, I think some of it is legitimate artifacts for sure. I see carvings, I see stuff, but have it analyzed to go, and then people will end up in the cauldron of, or this like disbelief or lack of trust rather in institutional analysis, and they don't want to send it in because they know and they don't need to, and like, but that's just the problem. Like, get it checked out, and if you have to be able to point to where humans did it. You can't just say, like in the one video, he's like, look, yelling at the poor bearded bastard who is kind of like being a dick. He's just like, I don't think these are rocks, but he's just saying, he keeps saying like, how do you look at this? You're telling me like you don't see a duck? You don't see a duck here? It's like I can see Mother Teresa's tits on this rock. It doesn't matter if I can't prove that a human being did it. It doesn't matter what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, man, but uh, you know, it is what it is. Like, I kind of got to this point where like I had to figure out like what it was I believed. That's what I believe. Like, if I can't prove it, then to me it's not an artifact by definition. It doesn't mean it's not something else. It doesn't mean that maybe it's too old, literally too old to be an artifact, because the proof I would need to show anyone that it was rendered out of stone by human hands in some way, shape, or form. Maybe that proof is long gone, and just the the framework is left, you know, like of what once was, perhaps. But that shouldn't, it shouldn't be fucking making a special Olympics for the artifact world. Like, oh, let our little fucking side hotline hose in. Like, no, like it should be called a something else. And it ends up being portable rock art, and a lot of people confuse that with like getting dissed by archaeologists and mainstream science. Now, like, I'm not shitting on anyone's stuff. I still love it all. I'm just saying you have to critically think. Like, if you're going to claim that what you have is rock art, like, let's do the community a favor and back the shit up and do it right. So when they come talking shit, believe me, I love talking shit to people. If there's anyone in this subject that likes to talk more shit, I'd like to meet them. But you know, if I can get behind something, man, I will fucking die for this subject. I don't care. Like, but I need like these hard backed facts. Like, I need this. I was saying something on Country Boys channel the other day about sources, citing sources, and he made a good point about like you have to get your sources are from educated people and whatnot. But I mean, okay, think about it like this. If I show you this, right? This is gold, okay? And I want $2,000 for an ounce of this. Are you going to give it to me? I say this is gold. It looks gold. It looks gold, doesn't it? Does it have the same density? I don't know. But you can't tell me this is not gold. There's no fucking way. You can't tell me that. Oh, you don't want my gold? Well, guess what? Mainstream finance is not accepting my gold. And that's bullshit. Which turns into mainstream finance is not accepting round gold like this. You know, that's the same mechanism is used to justify certain rock art, not all of it. Okay, so this might be an unpopular view, but I think at some point you just have to use your critical thinking. And in no way, shape, or form am I trying to flex my. I'm not smarter than any of you, believe me. I'm probably far less knowledgeable at all. So ridicule me and correct me in the comments. However, I would like you to source your information, which is critical. Yes, educated people are a great source of information, but I can get information from books. I can get it from, you know, it's not for me really to decide how credible it is. It's for whom I'm making my argument to. So if I'm going to tell you this is gold, then I better damn well prove it. And when you start asking me the hard questions and I go, well, there's no way it's not gold, that's just not fucking good enough for you, is it? And it shouldn't be. And it's not for me either. It's just not. And I would like it to be, but it's not. And it's fucking, it's upsetting. Like, I want to watch that dude Chris's shit and be like, fuck yeah. But I can't deny there's an air or an aura of doubt that creeps in when I watch it. I get up to like 90% of it and I'm like, it's like, Just I die at the part of, you can't tell me. I mean, this is clearly carved. This is clearly, but no, it's not clearly anything, man. Like, do your fucking, like, figure it out or don't. That's all I'm saying, dude. So, you know, hit me up in the comments if you don't agree with me, or if you do, or whatever. Just let me know. And but if you do bring some shit skin to the game or whatever you want to call it, just back it up, or let's debate about it. I would love to openly debate someone. That would be a good live. Like, let's do a live where, because I'm better in that format, because I can't keep my fucking thoughts straight when I'm just talking. I need someone to be asking me questions, or I'll get sidetracked. So that'd be cool if anyone wants to do that. Even Chris, like that, we'd probably end up at a similar point as him and that archaeologist or whatever, except I'm not totally there. I'm not even halfway there with that dude. I'm kind of on both of their sides when he's arguing that with the what was he, I think he was an archaeologist. But there's no denying they both end up at, this isn't an artifact. Yes, it is. Look at it. How can it not be? You're telling me this. You're telling me that. This isn't that. Like, that's not enough. If Chris would have been like, well, look, dude, I sent this in for research, and I've had it proven to me that this is how this rock flakes in conchoidal fractures, and it only flakes like this under pressure, and I know that, or this is how it looks with a 20-pound pressurized carving movement with a piece of diorite or whatever. If you can do that, then I have some tangible rope to pull myself onto your theory. But if you don't, man, it is what it is. It's not an art. I'm sorry, but by definition, it's not. And dude, I hate on mainstream a lot, man. There's plenty of it that I don't like. A lot of it I think is either wrong. Don't get me started about like sciences as it pertains to gender identity. I don't give a fuck if that's an unpopular subject. Like, you show me where it's good for kids to cut their balls off. That's a different fucking topic. What's up? Fuck, who is that? Rockmonger. That's Dorian. Yeah, Dorian, what's up, bro? I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Sucks you just got here because I just blew my wad, bro. I was just talking about portable rock art, man. Got you now. What do you hear, Jack? How do you feel about all this? I feel like I'm with Jack. I'm like sitting down, like, honey, there's someone else. I still love you, but there's someone else, and I want us all to work. Only Jack will understand that. But not much, Dorian. How are you? I'm just talking shit about portable rock art, the subject I love to hate and hate to love, But I'm basically saying that most of the big names in portable rock art, and specifically this dude Chris Penny, who I respect, thinks a cool dude, his arguments run out of steam because he always ends up at this intersection of, they won't accept my rock art as artifacts, and him saying this is what they are, because like they're an artifact because look, it looks like a cat. Like, that's not good enough. It was carved. Then prove it was carved. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. It would do me a world of good because I would love to get behind it. I'm not that popular or that talented at anything, but like, you don't want to get in a fucking arguing match with me, man. Like, I'll tell you that much. It's not good. Like, I've had my shit handed to me once or twice, but I'd go down with the damn ship, and I don't care. And that's probably why people don't usually talk too much shit, but I want people to talk shit to me. I end up trying to be friends with people that talk shit to me. I want someone to call me out. I'm trying to stir the hornet's nest up in this fucking subject, dude. Like, and I'll take little breaks from it because I get so, like, I get to the point where I'm like, no one takes this shit seriously. And and guys like Ray, who I love that guy. Like, I wish he lived next door so I could go drink a beer with him he's fucking cool, man. And he's a veteran, and like, I don't know, Dorian, are you a veteran? I think you're a veteran too, if I remember. Or maybe I'm like high or something. But like guys like Ray, who takes this shit to a whole new level. He's looking at impressions, like engravings. Like, let's just be theoretical and say, here, Dorian, I'll show you some of these while I'm talking. Let's just be, look at this bad bitch, theoretical and say, that they're not artifacts, okay? In the conventional sense of the word artifact. Because we cling way too much to the importance of semantic analysis, right? We cling way too much to, it's not an artifact, boo-hoo. Who gives a fuck, dude? It's still cool, right? Like all those things that Ray has, I think a lot, sorry guys, a lot of them are artifacts, legit artifacts, but I think a good amount of them aren't artifacts, but I think they're art in some way, shape, or form. So whether or not a man made them or nature made them, the fact that you've trained yourself to see shapes in rocks, you're pulling beauty out of mundane things. That's fucking cool to me. It doesn't mean you have pareidolia. Pareidolia, like, that's not saying you're a faggot. You know, I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, but whatever. You know, it's not saying that. It's saying, it's not even a bad word, but people hate it, so forget that word. Just like, and I'm not even saying anything, you know, in the same wheelhouse as that. I'm just saying, dude, like, it's still beautiful. It's still as important to me as it would be if someone made it. I get the cultural importance and weight involved in having a manufactured item that was made 10,000, 20,000 years ago, whatever. See, like, if I took this shit to that dude, okay? Oh, that light's doing that shit. But this thing that I pulled out of the clay bank, as absolutely certain I am that this is an artifact, I would still have to prove that someone didn't somehow retroactively imprint this shit on here. It's like, I know it. I found the damn thing this far under the ground, you know, in a clay bank. Like, there's no way someone did that. I know that. I sourced it. But that doesn't matter. If I want, it's like, you know, I want an Emmy. Or Golden Globe or whatever. So I have to get pretty good at acting, and I have to earn that shit. Well, the same thing. If I want this to be in a certain category, then I have to play by their rules, man. And that's just how it is. Now, if you really are like, fuck mainstream science and archaeology, then fuck them. Move on and do your own thing. But it's like, why sit around bitching and complaining about it, man? I don't know. I might just think of shit differently. But, oh, look at this one, man. This one's rad too. Look at that, Dorian, if you're still here. There's much peace in your... Oh my God, Jack. I hope that's not true, buddy. I hope that's not true. The world's over. But I appreciate it nonetheless, dude. Makes 100% sense. Thanks. Thanks, Dorian. Yeah, I'm just trying to bring a critical... Ew, this looks like shit on here. Like a critical thinking mind to the subject is all. I'm not saying no one else has that. I'm just saying no one's too vocal about it. It's like we hide behind this, a lot of people hide behind this smoke screen of like, this is my rock. It's portable rock art. You better accept it or not. And better accept it or you're a piece of shit. End the video. You know what I mean? Or this shit was made by ancient people. I know it. Mainstream academia won't accept it. And it's insane. And I can't believe it. And why not? And end the video. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, dude. Like, I'll hear that for a while, but I need proof. Like, and I'm not an asshole, and I'm not crazy for wanting a clear, unpolluted path to knowing why. I want someone to prove it, man. So I know I'm kind of talking in circles now, but when's the last time any of you guys have been out looking for stuff? Because I was just out today at this new spot. What about you, Dorian? I haven't talked to you in a while, buddy. Dude, I haven't seen your channel in probably a few weeks, but when I was looking at your channel, you had some bangers on there, dude. Like, sweet shit out there on the West Coast, man. Like, we don't have agates. Like, well, we do, but not like they do in, like, the Midwest or out that way. Like there's, oh, let me show you guys this. There's, what the hell are they called? What the hell are they called? I think they're called spotted moss agates, maybe, or moss agate. I don't know. They're fucking beautiful. I think they're the green ones. I love being able to do this for some reason. This little red guy, look how cool he is, man. He's very neat. You like him? I don't know. I'm sure it's flashing all over for you guys, all over the place. Um, but yeah, dude. Do you guys think it would be there? Yeah, I thought we were gonna make a family. Yeah, you guys. Yeah. Okay. If you guys want to take the initiative to try to get that dude Chris to debate me about it, not as a hostile, um, what's plight or anything. Not like a. There's only truth I want. That's it. That's all I think most of us want. It's just the truth. For the thing that we dedicate our little bit of free time to, we're all hard workers. We're all burdened with this existence. We all have a little bit of free time, and we choose. A lot of us choose to spend that free time digging shit out of the ground. And when we come to the community with it, we should have a sense of holistic inclusion and a sense of community. And I get it. Controversy is good. Sometimes it keeps shit alive, but we should have a very galvanized, solid community in which to dump our findings and be happy without any sort of fucking turmoil, which this subject is surprisingly rich in controversy and ridicule and all that shit. It's funny. I can't believe it. Because, I mean, I'll be real. Like, I just got into rockhounding, like hardcore, like, the last 2 years, Like, I always liked it my whole life, but not enough to go online and, like, get into the community. So, like, now that I am, I almost couldn't believe that there was any sort of controversy. It's funny, man. And how, and good. I'm glad there is, because you should take anything seriously. Like, it's your hobby, it's your passion. You should drive that shit into the ground, man. You should live like you're on fire. That's how I like to live. Anyway, I love you guys. Jack, thanks a lot, man. Dude, you're like my fucking... Jack's been like my man wife from another state lately. I love you, buddy. And Damien, sorry, buddy, Dorian. I'm glad you, I caught you for a couple minutes, dude. Text me, both you guys. You both got my number. Hit me up, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you guys. And if you're just watching this now, go back and watch it from the beginning. I think it's worth it. Maybe. Love you.